Right now at 6, the town of Caney, Kansas experiences a severe water shortage.
And we continue with excessive heat warnings for virtually the entire area with dangerous heat across the region. We'll talk about that forecast coming up.
Also, 2 sections of a new Arkansas law that targets librarians gets blocked by a judge.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. Just after 6 a.m. now on this Thursday morning, and it is already hot and muggy again. This is the 3rd day in a row now that our mornings have started at an unpleasant level, and that just means the afternoons are going to be even more unpleasant as we go through the day. Skywatch Storm Tracker showing not much in our immediate area, but take a look to the north. We've got a few scattered showers and thunderstorms trying to push in. It'll be kind of like yesterday, where our northern counties are going to get skirted by some of this activity as we go through the morning hours. Unfortunately, that also means the majority of us will stay dry across the area as we go through today. But we do have better rain chances on the way. Before then, we've got to deal with this again. We have the excessive heat warnings again for virtually every county in our area through the late evening hours. We're talking through 9-10 o'clock tonight. For heat index values, they're going to be pushing up again to about 115 degrees. So heat exhaustion is likely and heat stroke is possible. So we keep reminding you this is serious. You've got to take these precautions. Stay hydrated. Take frequent breaks if you've got to be outdoors. Limit those strenuous outdoor activities. Wear lightweight, light-colored clothing. And make sure you're checking on the elderly. And don't leave your pets outside too long either. MoDOT camera 20th and range line. We are looking good as we start our Thursday morning. And same from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue just south of Pittsburgh. And from our camera at 7th and range line. A few clouds out there. Otherwise, mostly clear. 85. Feels like 88 at this hour of the day, and it's only going to get worse, unfortunately. Now, up north, it's the Yates Center, Iola, Fort Scott, Nevada. You've had some outflow from those showers that are off to your north, and some cloud cover. You're a little cooler. 73 Iola, 74 Yates Center, 75 in Fort Scott, Nevada. But the rest of us starting to warm up. Look at this, 87 in Grove, 82 in Chautauqua, 78 now in Parsons, Chanute, 76 in Pittsburgh. We get our morning started, so we've got the isolated showers, again, mainly for our northern counties. The rest of us partly to mostly cloudy and hot, mid-90s by 11 a.m. We head into the afternoon. It doesn't get any better. Temperatures right around 105 degrees, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Then the evening, the reason those excessive heat warnings go so long, look at this, 98 at 8, 91 at 10. But we start to see a few more scattered thunderstorms. So not all of us get rain this evening or overnight, but a few more of us will get rain as we head into the evening and overnight. And we'll drop back down into the upper 70s, lower 80s. Bigger rain chances and more relief are on the way. We'll take another look at your full forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, Joplin police say this man, Jeffrey Hance, was observed abandoning stolen property at the Dairy Queen on 32nd Street, recovered from the El Caballo de Ora Mexican restaurant. Further investigation revealed the El Caballo de Ora had been burglarized and the back door appeared to have forced entry. Hance was detained and arrested on 2 active felony warrants. An additional charge of burglary in the 2nd degree was forwarded to the Jasper County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. The city of Columbus, Kansas temporarily closes its pool and splash pad. The city closed its pool for precautionary purposes as the city is currently under a boil water advisory. The city will follow all KDHE testing protocols and hope to get the boil water advisory rescinded before the weekend. The city apologized on Facebook for the inconvenience and said that its teams are working as quickly as possible to make repairs and restore normal system function. The city of Caney, Kansas is experiencing a severe water shortage. Authorities in Caney have categorized the situation as a stage 3 emergency. That's the top of the scale. It means residents can use water only for essential activities. Caney's water usually comes from the Little Caney River and a backup reserve, Timber Hill Lake. But the lake level is too low. The city's pool's water will be dechlorinated to be further used by residents. The city will also pump water from below the dam back up into the water lock. Those measures will help to keep Caney's reserve for another 3 months, with a couple of weeks to go before the beginning of the school year. The city's district is also taking measures to support the cause. Caney is not the only city in southeast Kansas dealing with a water shortage. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. And investigators in a rape and kidnapping case out in Kansas City, Missouri, are dealing with a setback. A potential witness to the alleged crime, Janie Crossdale, was found dead along the Missouri River. Police say she may have known more about a 22-year-old woman escaping the home of Timothy Hazlitt last year. That woman told police she was raped and tortured for weeks inside Hazlitt's house. According to one attorney, the discovery of Crossdale's remains allows police to ask new questions of Hazlitt. In Arkansas, 2 sections of a new law targeting librarians have been blocked by a judge. The sections would have allowed criminal charges against librarians for providing certain books to children and would have changed for the process of relocating books. Jacob Murphy reports.
Most Arkansas libraries, and certainly the Springdale Public Library, have been preparing ourselves to operate in 2 realities. One in which Act 372 goes into effect, and one in which it does not.
Now, that reality is up in the air.
2 sections of that law have been challenged and will not be going into effect on August 1st, pending the final result of the litigation.
Yesterday, a U.S. District Judge issued a preliminary injunction to pause 2 sections of the Act, which would have allowed criminal charges against librarians for providing harmful materials to children and changing the process to relocate books.
I have used the library all of my life. I'm a very avid reader, and my husband and I both use the library. We buy books. We read a lot.
Lita Kaplinger was a plaintiff in the lawsuit that led to the injunction.
Act 372 destroys the library system. It makes it impossible for librarians to understand what's criminal because it's so vague.
And the fight is not over yet, with appeals and potential trials looming.
We've been watching this piece of legislation and the lawsuit challenging it for the majority of the year 2023, and we'll continue to do so.
Pending appeals, the next step for the lawsuit will be a trial, which is expected later this year. Now that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, we'll see how the ongoing battle between the Florida governor and Disney is going. Plus, a unanimous decision causes a mass shooter to receive the death penalty. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Thursday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, a new twist in the ongoing battle between the Florida government and Walt Disney World. The Central Florida Tourism Oversight District announced it is abolishing all diversity, equality, and inclusion initiatives put together by the former Reedy Creek Improvement District. The Tourism Oversight District serves as the municipal government and taxing district for the property occupied by the Walt Disney World Resort. The governing board said it would dissolve the DEI committee and shut down any related programs, saying they waste taxpayer dollars, are illegal, racist, and, quote, un-American. Disney and the Florida government have been at odds since the entertainment company publicly opposed the governor's Don't Say Gay legislation last year. And on Friday, the National Park Service is waiving entrance fees at all of its sites in celebration of the 3rd anniversary of the Great American Outdoors Act. In its new release, the service said that the act is making a big difference in the protection and enjoyment of national parks and other public lands. The fee waiver on Friday only applies to the cost of entry and doesn't apply to fees for camping. Visitors who plan to be in the park after Friday must pay the regular entrance fee for the remainder of their stay. The Park Service is also offering free fee days this year on September 23rd for National Public Lands Day and November 11th for Veterans Day. And a jury in Pittsburgh has sentenced Tree of Life Synagogue shooter Robert Bowers to death. Unanimous decision on Wednesday follows about 10 hours of deliberation over 2 days. The verdict indicates jurors don't buy the defense's argument that Bowers has schizophrenia or delusional beliefs. Their finding is he knew what he was doing was wrong and had the capacity to stop himself. This is the first federal death penalty sentence under the Biden administration. Bowers was previously convicted of murdering 11 worshipers and wounding 6 others in 2018. Now to a deeply disturbing story out of the Pacific Northwest, where a man is accused of abducting and sexually assaulting a woman and locking her up in a cell made of cinder blocks. As CBS's Jonathan Bigliotti reports, the FBI is searching for more potential victims in multiple states.
Haunting photos of a makeshift jail cell where a woman was held captive before escaping.
The woman fought for her life, beating the doors and the walls of this cell with bloodied hands.
FBI officials identified the alleged attacker as 29-year-old Nagasi Zuberi, who they say was posing as an undercover police officer when the abduction occurred. He sexually assaulted, handcuffed, and shackled the woman in Seattle, driving more than 7 hours across state lines to his home in Klamath Falls, Oregon.
Through her perseverance, she broke free and waved down a passing motorist, asking for their help to call 911.
The cinder block cell was built in Zuberi's garage. Court documents revealed the victim's purse was there and her blood was found on a fence she climbed to escape.
The victim's focus, actions, and her will to survive triggered a law enforcement response that may have actually saved many other women from a similar nightmare.
Those actions and the suspect's cell phone data led police to Reno, Nevada, where Zuberi was arrested. He was with his wife and child.
We believe there may be more victims.
The FBI says Zuberi is linked to at least 4 other assaults, and they believe there could be more. He's lived in 10 states in less than 7 years under different names. That's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've still got excessive heat warnings across almost the entire area today, and some of those will continue into tomorrow. We do have some relief on the way, which is good news. We'll talk about that in your full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:16 now on this Thursday morning, almost to the weekend, which means we're that much closer to some relief around the area. Skywatch Storm Tracker, we're starting to see a couple of showers moving in to our northern counties, and I'm telling you, I've not seen Mother Nature so intentionally avoid us. Just look at this big arch of showers and thunderstorms. It just circles us, but does not actually get us. These showers, and maybe even these ones back to the north of Wichita, will continue their easterly track, and so just like yesterday, some of our northern counties may luck in to a little bit of rain as we go through the morning hours. Unfortunately, the majority of us are going to stay dry, but don't worry, we have more rain chances on the way, and that'll start to encompass all of us as we head through the next several days. Until then, though, we've still got to deal with this dangerous heat. We have excessive heat warnings now for virtually every county in our area. They run through 9 and 10 p.m. across the region as well, and there's a really good reason for why they run so late. We're going to take a look at that in just a moment. First, a reminder with those heat index values of up to 115 degrees, heat exhaustion is likely. Heat stroke is very possible out there, so if you do have to be outdoors, which we do not recommend, you need to make sure you're staying hydrated, taking frequent breaks, limiting strenuous outdoor activities, wear lightweight, light-colored clothing. Make sure you're checking on the elderly, and do not leave your pets out for too terribly long either, because this heat is dangerous and can potentially be deadly for some. I'm taking a live look at the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, looking back to the south. We're looking all right so far, and we're looking pretty good from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue, and of course this one just south of Pittsburgh, because that would be Pittsburgh right back there. All right, our camera, 7th and Range Line, we have a few clouds out there, but not many, so we're going to call that mostly clear for the time being. But it's hot already. It's been hot all morning. 85 in Joplin, feels like 88. That dew point up there at 67. As we take a look at temperatures around the region, you can see up north, they've been getting not necessarily the rain just yet, but you've been getting the outflow, some cool breezes off of that rain. So it's a little cooler up to the north. 74 Iola, 75 Yates Center, 76 in Fort Scott, Nevada, and even into Pittsburgh. But the rest of us warming up, and all of us are going to heat up as we go through the day. 78's in Neodesha, Chanute, Parsons, 83 in Miami, 81 Neosho, 80 in Monette, and look at Grove already up to 86 degrees at 6:19 in the morning. We've got the isolated showers, again, those mainly confined to our northern counties. There could even be a rumble of thunder or two out there. Then as for the rest of us, we're going to be partly to mostly cloudy, and we're going to be hot as we head into the late morning, mid-90s almost by 11 a.m. ahead of highs right around 105 degrees out there, and some of us in the southern counties could potentially reach slightly higher than that, say maybe upwards of 108 degrees. Mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies, kind of variable through the day. Then as we head into the evening, that's when we've got an opportunity for some scattered showers and thunderstorms, primarily in southeast Kansas initially. They're going to be kind of scattered throughout the region, but unfortunately, most of us will remain dry. Not all of us are going to see rain, but at least a few more of us will get in on some rain. But here's why those excessive heat warnings go so long. Look at this. 8 o'clock at night, 98 degrees. By 10, we're still in the 90s by 10 p.m. Now, the rain showers and the clouds will help kick us down back into the upper 70s and lower 80s across the area. And we'll see these scattered storm chances continue to increase over the next several days. So that's why I'm saying we're all going to get in on some rain chances as we go through. And we still have hot weather tomorrow, 104, and a number of those excessive heat warnings are expected to continue into our Friday. Still hot on Saturday, approaching 100, not quite there, but close enough at 99. And then we see the shower and thunderstorm chances increase. So you see we've got them Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the Friday into Saturday storms, and maybe even the Saturday into Sunday storms. So those could be strong, possibly severe. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. But one way or the other, it's going to do another great thing for us. Not only does it give us great rain chances, it also knocks our temperatures back down into the upper 80s and lower 90s. And we'll hold on to the lower 90s as we head through the majority of the next work week as well. So some big relief on the way, multiple days of rain and thunderstorm chances out there, and much cooler temperatures. Let's check your forecast. We're back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, according to the CDC, the average life expectancy in the U.S. has dropped for a second time in a row from 77 to just 76 years of age. While COVID was a main factor for the drop in life expectancy, chronic health issues like heart disease also played a part. Now, new research shows you may be able to reduce your risk for early death by as much as 20%.
Heart disease, cancer, dementia. These are all leading causes of death in the U.S.
There's a growing body of evidence that shows that healthy nutrition and medically tailored meals can significantly improve overall health outcomes.
In a recent study published in JAMA Internal Medicine, researchers found people can reduce their risk for early death by nearly 20% by following diets focused on eating more fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and legumes. Researchers followed 119,000 men and women over 36 years. Those who improved their diet over time were associated with lowering their risk of dying of neurodegenerative diseases like dementia by 7%, heart disease by up to 13%, and cancer by as much as 18%. So what food should you focus on for a longer life?
There's so much evidence that the more we eat that's plant-based, that's not processed, so fresh from garden to kitchen, is the direction to lean in.
So eat more whole foods like fruits, veggies, and grains, and cook more yourself for a longer and healthier life. Dow Quick, KOAM News.
By cooking more at home, you can control the ingredients in your food and reduce your risk for heart disease and early death. Survivors of hepatitis C face a 3 to 14 times greater risk of death compared to people who never had the virus. That's according to data from more than 20,000 patients published in the BMJ. Researchers say the finding highlights the importance of establishing robust post-cure services for people who have had the liver infection. And a new study in Colombia finds breast cancer patients with a high BMI or body mass index are more likely to experience heart damage during chemotherapy. Researchers found almost 12% of patients with weight issues suffered from cardiotoxicity when getting treatment for breast cancer. They recommended addressing obesity in cancer patients before beginning chemotherapy. And 2 studies published by the BMJ examine potential issues for infants when their mothers take steroids during pregnancy. Corticosteroids are often prescribed for women who may have birth early, but research shows infants have increased risk of serious infection, including sepsis and pneumonia during the first 12 months of life, and may even be more susceptible to longer-term health issues. Doctors are advised to exercise caution when considering steroid treatment for pregnant women. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we are continuing with those excessive heat warnings across the area. Dangerous heat again, but we do have relief on the way, and we do have increasing shower and thunderstorm chances. We'll take a look at that full forecast when we come back.
Right now at 6:30, we can see folks at Marion Days in Carthage are beating this intense heat.
And that intense heat continues. Excessive heat warnings for virtually every county in the area once again today. We'll take a look at that coming up.
Also, the Joplin Humane Society says it's at full capacity.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:29 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner. So it's already, I've said it 100 times. Doug put out a thing on Facebook asking people, well, how else can you say hot? And he mentioned, though, that a number of the ways that he got were not television appropriate. So we're going to stick with it's hot. It's hot already. It's going to continue to be hot, but there's relief in our future. Let's take a look at Skywatch Storm Tracker. Now, a lot of what you're seeing out there is not actually happening, but we do have some scattered showers, even a couple of thunderstorms starting to roll into our northern counties, and this is almost a repeat of yesterday. It's a slightly different configuration, but it's almost a repeat. We'll see a few scattered showers and storms trim our northern counties as we go through the morning, but unfortunately the majority of us are going to stay dry, but worry not, more rain chances are on the way for everyone as we head through the next several days. For today, excessive heat warnings again for virtually every county in our area through at least 9 p.m. and upwards of 10 p.m. tonight, because we're going to be into the 90s even by 10 o'clock tonight. And that's why these excessive heat warnings go so long. Heat index values upwards of 115 degrees make heat exhaustion likely, heat stroke possible. And there's a thing called the wet bulb globe temperature. And what that is it's a measurement of temperature of this moisture that we have in the air. And it is excessively high, which also complicates issues with heat stroke and stressing your body to the point that it is very dangerous to be outside. So if you have to be outdoors, we cannot emphasize these safety tips enough. Do what you can to be indoors, but I know there are a number of jobs that require you to be outside, including here in the news business. Our reporters, they've got to go outside to do these stories. You need to stay hydrated, take frequent breaks, limit those strenuous outdoor activities, wear lightweight, light-colored clothes, and check on the elderly and the pets, and don't leave your pets outside for too long either. I mean, we're not messing around with this heat. It is dangerous. It is potentially deadly for some, so just please take it seriously. MoDOT camera 20th at Range Line. It looks nice. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue, but it's kind of like in the wintertime when we see the sunrise and it looks great. It's deceiving because if you go outside, it's not so great. In fact, we're sitting at 85 in Joplin. Feels like 88 right now with a dew point of 67 across the area. Again, up north, now that those rain showers are entering, you've been getting some outflow, a little bit of a cooler air. So we got 74, Yates Center, 73, Iola. Those are the places to be this morning. 76 Fort Scott, 77s in Nevada and Lamar, and then further south it gets a lot warmer. 78 Parsons, Chanute, Neodesha, 83 Miami, 85 Veneta, and then look at Grove. It is 629. And it is 87 degrees in Grove right now. And that's an indication of how hot it's going to get. We've got the isolated showers, again, mainly in our northern counties this morning. Otherwise, partly to mostly cloudy, mid-90s by 11 a.m. Ahead of highs today, pushing around 105 degrees out there under partly to mostly cloudy skies. Now, as we head into this evening, we've got better scattered storm chances. Most of these are in southeast Kansas, but they're a little more widespread than what we've seen. And those will continue. But here's why those warnings go so late. Look at this, 8 o'clock, 98 degrees, 91 at 10. Overnight lows tonight, upper 70s, lower 80s out there, depending on whether or not you see some thunderstorm activity. The heat continues through at least Saturday. Some of those excessive heat warnings continue at least through Friday. And then after that, we get a nice storm system into Saturday. And that kicks our temperatures back down into the upper 80s and lower 90s with more scattered thunderstorm chances as well. So more rain on the way and much cooler temperatures. I mean, I know they're still hot, but they're a lot better than where they are right now. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Marion Days returns to Carthage, Missouri amidst an excessive heat warning. Despite the 100-plus degree temperatures in Missouri, tens of thousands of Vietnamese Catholics from across the world flock to Marion Days. Doctors from around the country volunteer their expertise, treating everything from heat stroke to cuts needing stitches. Last year, COVID was the main concern, but this year's focus is on the heat.
I am one of the many doctors who come here, and we all take the time off It's a sacrifice because it's the time off and traveling. And some of us travel from very far and have to fly in. And then a lot of us bring equipments and medications to donate. But as I said, it's a joy for all of us.
And people across much of southwest Missouri are still wanting to have downed trees and big limbs cleaned up after Sunday's storm. Some homeowners have started removing storm damage on their own. Nicolette Zangara has a few ways you can stay safe next time bad weather hits.
Tree removal services across the Ozarks are completely booked out as they're trying to clean up residential areas. Now, if you're trying to take matters into your own hands and repair your own tree damage, there are a couple of guidelines you should follow.
If something looks kind of hairy, wait, call a professional.
Brad Snow with Specialty Family Tree says tree removal is a delicate puzzle requiring experience and tree knowledge to avoid additional damage to your house or yourself. He says investing in protective gear is step number one.
First off, be safe. Wear PPE, personal protective equipment. Get yourself a $100 pair of chaps so you're not spending thousands of dollars when you cut yourself, if you cut yourself. Wear gloves so you protect your hands. Wear glasses so you protect your eyes. Wear a hard hat and earmuffs so you protect your head and your hearing. Just be absolutely 100% as safe as you could be.
Snow says never work alone. If you get hurt, others may not know. According to Cox Health, more than 22,000 Americans are hurt each year in ladder accidents.
You've got to weigh the risks and the risks of getting yourself injured or hurting someone in your family because of trying to get something done quickly or maybe without the proper training or proper equipment. That risk is so much higher than most of us realize, and it's just not worth it.
Both Spain and Snow recommend being patient. While it is an inconvenience to see a fallen tree in your yard, a trip to the hospital will not help. Reporting in Nixa, Nicolette Zangara, KY3 News.
The Joplin Humane Society wants the city of Neosha to know it has no more room for animals. Efforts have been made to reach out to faithful friends, but that Neosha shelter says they are also filled to capacity. To further complicate matters, the situation leaves the Neosha Police Department with no place to take animals that they might usually pick up. They'll be limited to dangerous animals until the shelter space is available. These clinics will take place the first Wednesday of each month and will be offered free to the public. You can also get your blood pressure checked as well as vaccine education and your vaccination record if you're registered in your state's vaccine registry. The next one is scheduled for September 6th in Weir, Kansas at the Senior Citizen Building from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m.
Just the opportunity to come and engage with us and engage with the other community partners that are here and interaction with us to be educated and just get to see one-on-one on a more low-key event.
You can get more information on these events, including specific times and locations, at the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. Kansas Fair season continues with the 107th Annual Crawford County Fair just east of Girard. Area kids work hard all year long, and the fair gives them the opportunity to show off the results of that work. A lot of consideration goes into how these area kids show their livestock, including which type of animals to showcase.
I think goats take a little less of your time, so that way you can just do more things and focus on more things.
The fair offers everything from agriculture-related events to live music, a carnival, shopping, and great food. You can get more information on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And gather your friends, family, and neighbors as it's time for the bed races in Arma, Kansas. It's getting close to Arma, Kansas's homecoming, which is known as Arma VJ Day Homecoming. This tradition dates all the way back to 1946 and is believed to be the oldest running VJ Day, or World War II celebration, in the country. This year they brought back the bed races, where a team of 5 people, 4 pushers and 1 rider, raced down Washington Street in the town.
The nice thing about it is it's not like building a float where you got to have, this is anybody can do it. All you need is 5 people and a bed.
The beds must be designed with 4 function wheels of any size, and the design of the beds cannot be lewd, profane, or vulgar, as the event is family friendly. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. We go against the trend. And
plus, we've got those excessive heat warnings out there. The heat continues, already looking hazy as the sun rises. We'll take another look at your forecast when we come back.
in Consumer Watch this morning, you may have noticed a slight dip in your grocery bill, but eating out will still cost you. CBS's Michael George shows us one Brooklyn, New York restaurant that's bucking the trend and dropping its prices.
Morgan's Brooklyn Barbecue is shaving a little off the top.
St. Louis pork ribs, we lowered the price on. We actually increased the size.
This Texas-style barbecue with a Brooklyn flair now costs just a little bit less.
How much are we talking about in terms of lowering the price?
A couple of dollars, $1 or $2.
After seeing food, goods, and labor prices skyrocket during the pandemic, Morgan's owner, Matthew Glazier, says his costs on some items have finally come down, and he's passing along that savings to his customers.
In order to get more customers in order to get customers to come back, there have to be some sort of value.
Anytime I can save $1, I love it.
While the cost of cooking at home has cooled off a bit, dining out remains pricey. The most recent government data shows grocery store prices were up 4.7%, while restaurant bills were up 7.7%.
When you see grocery prices go down, they go on sharply, whereas restaurant prices don't go down as sharply. There's a lot more built into the restaurant pricing.
Overall, restaurants are faring well in spite of generally higher prices thanks to strong demand and low unemployment.
But some consumers are watching their wallets. Recent data from Revenue Management Solutions shows quick service traffic was down, with almost a third of consumers spending less on restaurants, and 1 in 3 of that group reducing their order size to save money. Morgan's customers say wherever you can get a deal,
a buck is a buck. That's $1 extra, and it leaves you with a very positive experience.
And that's worth every bite. Michael George, CBS News, Brooklyn, New York.
Trend spotters at Technomics say they are also seeing more loyalty programs offering frequent customers things like a free sandwich or buy one, get one free deals. And gas prices are on the rise. AAA says the average price Wednesday was $3.80 a gallon. That's over 25 cents higher than a month ago. A AAA spokesman told the Associated Press that record temperatures this summer and cuts in global crude production are partly to blame. The FDA is recalling 1,000 of its boxes of Titami. Birth control pills are warning that some batches could result in unexpected pregnancy. The recalled pills were distributed at pharmacies nationwide from June 2022 through May 2023. Lot numbers of affected boxes are the FDA's website. The agency urges affected patients to continue taking the medication and to immediately seek an alternative from their doctor. And the Mega Millions jackpot grew to over $1.2 billion after no ticket was matched on Tuesday's winning numbers. Friday's drawing will be the 4th largest prize in the game's history, with a cash option of $625 million. And that's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your weather.
Yeah, we've got those excessive heat warnings that continue across the area, and that is for heat index values, again, pushing close to 115 degrees. We will take another complete look at your forecast and when we will see some relief from the heat. It's also almost time to celebrate those birthdays and anniversaries. They are coming up after the break. But first, we're going to head on up to New York City and see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Natalie Morales, and coming up on CBS Mornings, a secondhand clothing stylist will be here sharing tips we can all use when cleaning out our closets and shopping for vintage clothing. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
Time for some Wednesday birthdays here in the 4 states, and we're going to begin in Parsons with Adley Dixon, celebrating birthday number 5. Happy birthday, Adley.
And over in Reeds, Missouri, Savannah Cole turned 6. Happy birthday, Savannah.
And then got a very special birthday here for Colt White, turning 10. Colt is my stepson. He is no longer my little buddy. He's becoming my big buddy, growing up way, way too fast. I'm telling you, they've got to slow down. I can't keep up anymore. Well, very, very happy birthday to you, Colt.
Yes, happy birthday, Colt. And Happy birthday to Oakley Slaughter, who's turning 12 over in Webb City, Missouri.
And we've got Patricia Hall in Pittsburgh. She's the lady on the left, celebrating birthday number 73 in Pittsburgh. Happy birthday.
And over in Erie, Kansas, happy 80th birthday to Lyndon Noakes. You have a message from Jim and Lois Carlson saying happiest of birthdays.
All right, that list, what is going on? It's like every time we ask for it to be longer, it gets shorter. Caitlin, we don't want it to be short.
Nope.
How can they help us make it longer?
All right, so be sure to submit your birthdays and anniversaries with pictures and any messages you want to send to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com.
We are urging you to do so. We will come to your house if we have to get those birthdays and anniversaries. We also want you to head over to our website, take time to sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club. You get special deals from local businesses, and you get a special birthday message from your friends here at KOAM. So sign up for that KOAM Birthday Club today. All right. We got some weather to talk about, some good news and some bad news. Unfortunately, in the order of operations here, we have to start with the bad news, but we have some slight good news. It'll be a balance. All right, let's get going. Skywatch Storm Tracker, 90% of what's on here is not happening. This activity is happening. So similar to yesterday, a slightly different setup, but similar to yesterday, we have some scattered thunderstorms out there, and those are going to continue to track east and should clip some of our northern counties. Not all of our northern counties will get rain, but we will see at least some of this activity push on through as we go through the morning hours. What everybody will get to see, unfortunately, is the dangerous heat once again across the area. We have excessive heat warnings through 9 p.m. here and until 10 p.m. into parts of southeast Kansas and southwest Missouri. And this is for heat index values upwards of 115 degrees, making heat exhaustion likely and heat stroke very possible out there. Very easy to stress your body in this kind of heat and humidity. You got to stay hydrated, take those frequent breaks, limit those strenuous outdoor activities, wear lightweight, light-colored clothing, and make sure you're checking on the elderly, and don't leave your pets out too long. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, of course, a deceivingly nice view. It looks pretty pleasant out there. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue. It looks nice. Unfortunately, it's not so nice with those temperatures. See, look at that. Looks like a beautiful day, right? Unfortunately, it's already 85 degrees. Sitting at 88 is the heat index in Joplin with the dew point of 67, and it is hot across the area. We got 85 Grove, 84 Veneta, 80 in Chautauqua, 74 in Pittsburgh, so a pinch cooler, and a little cooler up north where some of the showers and the outflow is from those thunderstorms off to the north. So 73 Iola, 77 Nevada, Lamar, and 83 in Carthage and Anderson. As we get our morning started, again, we've got the showers up there for our northern counties. Some of you are going to get into some of that. The rest of us are partly to mostly cloudy and hot, making it into the mid-90s by 11 this morning, and that is ahead of highs reaching about 105 degrees out there today. So we're not messing around with how dangerous this heat is across the area. We'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies, kind of varying throughout the day. Then we head into the evening, and especially into southeast Kansas, we're looking at scattered thunderstorm chances. We're not looking at anything severe, but a couple of strong storms may be possible, and a lot of this will be confined to southeast Kansas. So not everybody's going to get rain tonight, but some of us will. But this is why those heat warnings go so long. Look at this, 98 by 8, still at 91 at 10 o'clock at night. Now, depending on who gets rain and how much, some of us will drop back into the upper 70s. Others of us will drop back into the lower 80s once again across the area. We hold on to triple digits tomorrow and near triple digits by Saturday with, again, evening thunderstorm chances. Now, Saturday, we're looking at the possibility of maybe some more widespread, strong, possibly severe thunderstorms. So we're going to keep an eye on that for you. We don't need that severe weather, but what we need is the punch from that system, and that's what it's going to do, is it's going to kick really hard and knock those temperatures back down into the upper 80s and lower 90s as we head off into the next work week. And we still have those scattered thunderstorm chances too. So not only do we get to cool down pretty nicely out there, we also get some additional much needed rain chances across the 4-state area. Well, coming up when the KOAM Morning News switches on over to Fox 14, we'll have how you can earn money just for playing Uno.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Joplin police say this man, Jeffrey Hance, was observed abandoning stolen property at a Dairy Queen on 32nd Street, recovered from the El Caballo de Oro Mexican restaurant. Further investigation revealed that El Caballo de Ora had been burglarized and the back door appeared to have forced entry. Hance was detained and arrested on 2 active felony warrants. The city of Caney, Kansas is experiencing a severe water shortage. Authorities in Caney have categorized the situation as a stage 3 emergency. It means residents can use water only for essential activities. The city's pool's water will be dechlorinated to be further used to residents. The city will also pump water from below the dam back up into the water lock. And Marion Days returns to Carthage, Missouri amidst an excessive heat warning. Despite the 100-plus degree temperatures in Missouri, tens of thousands of Vietnamese Catholics from across the world flock to Marion Days. Doctors from around the country volunteer their expertise, treating everything from heat stroke to cuts needing stitches. Last year, COVID was the main concern, but this year's focus is on the heat. The Joplin Humane Society wants the city of Neosha to know it has no more room for animals. Efforts have been made to reach out to faithful friends, but that Neosha shelter says they are also filled to capacity. To further complicate matters, the situation leaves the Neosha Police Department with no place to take animals that they might usually pick up. They'll be limited to dangerous animals until a shelter space is available. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And we still have the excessive heat warnings today. Heat index values up to 115, partly to mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. Highs right around 105. Staying hot through the evening, even in the 90s by 10 o'clock. Some of us may see a few scattered thunderstorms. Not everyone will get rain, but a few of us will. Back into the upper 70s, lower 80s. Triple digits again tomorrow, near triple digits Saturday, and then a more powerful storm system comes in and not only brings us some much needed rain chances, but kicks those temperatures down in the upper 80s, lower 90s.
All right, and coming up today at noon, we're making pesto pork medallions in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And of course, your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. You need help cleaning out your closet? Well, coming up on CBS Mornings, a secondhand clothing stylist shares tips plus how to shop for vintage clothing and taking your personal style to the next level on a budget.
All right, or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. However, we might be slightly delayed due to the women's soccer game, but hold on tight and we should be there shortly.
Yeah, we'll learn about an upcoming rodeo headed to Baxter Springs, and a real estate agent gets caught chugging milk. We'll have the latest on that bizarre story as well, and that's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you right here at noon.